So I'm just going to show you quickly 3 different ways of loading a method feeder and why I would do it each way. So first off, the general way of loading a method feeder is just to put a little sprinkle in the top, just press it down a touch. Obviously put your hook bait, I like to put mine central. You show your hook limbs coming out to the bottom. Put a layer on top and then put your method on. Compact it quite hard and then press your button and there's your perfect method. Now that's the way I would load a method for probably 90% of my fishing, but on some occasions when you're getting lots of indications, lots of bites, you need to load it slightly different. So the second way of loading it is if you're getting lots of indications on the tip, you're getting bites quite quickly after tightening up, that means there's a lot of fish in your peg, they're eating quite aggressively, and you need your hook bait to come out a lot quicker than the way I just showed you the first time. So if that's the case, I would load the method feeder this way. So instead of putting a little sprinkle in the top, I'd put the hook bait in first, then fill the method feeder, give him a little squeeze, press the button to unload him, and then that's how I would do it. As you can see, the hook bait is sat right on top of the method feeder. Now that will make the hook bait expose a lot quicker, so if those fish are in there and they're eating on the feeder quite quickly, your hook bait will be exposed better and you'll get bites more quicker. Now the last way I'll show you is for those days when you're not fishing for many fish. You might only be fishing for 5 or 6 fish. Places like Larford, Meadowlands, Barston, Boddingtons in the winter. These sort of places where you could be leaving the feeder out there for 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes. So if on these days I want to know that my hook bait is intact around that method and not falling off to the side, so on those days what I'd do is I'd fill the method mould right up to the brim to start with, place my hook bait in the middle and push him down, then feed it, fill it up so it's overfilled, like that, push the method down so that my hook bait now is as far down as it can possibly be in our method. And what I'll do then is just put another skin on it, just double skin it, squeeze it down again, double skin it, and that there is the third way I would do it, so that I know there's one skin on and then my hook bait is as far down in our method as it can possibly be. So when that feeder lands on the bottom and it's out there 10-15 minutes and it's breaking down and it's all breaking down around it, I know that my hook bait will be right in the middle of it. After 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes, my hook bait will just come to the surface like that, and if a carp comes in, I got confidence that my hook bait is still in amongst my method bait. So there's 3 different ways I would load a method. Obviously the first one is the way I would load it 90% of the time for general fishing. The second one is if I was getting bites really quick and if I was getting lots of line bites and I wanted my hook bait towards the top of my method. And then the third way is if I was fishing for a long time and leaving the bait out there and leaving the method out there for a long time. So I'd want my hook bait lower down in my feeder. I hope those three different ways of loading a method feeder helps you, and I hope you catch a lot more fish because of it.